beginning portion, so we have most of the time for DS Connect. But I like to start on the login page in case there's anybody new. Your login is your email address. If you have forgotten your password, there's a link there to retrieve that. Just make sure if you use your email address with the .hn from HVAC Navigator, that you use the forgot password link using only your email address. Otherwise, you won't get the email to actually reset your password. So let's go ahead and log in. And if you have multiple accounts, it may pop up a page asking you to choose which account you want to work in. If not, it'll pop up just like this. Real quick, from top to bottom, the Solution Navigator icon, it's your home page. If it's displaying, then that's going to take you back to this home start page. Next to that is the search box, which this is greatly enhanced. You could put lots of different things in there and it will give you lots of results. Product, parts, all kinds of things. You can put in a topic and it'll pop up, any documentation or letters associated with that. So one of the things I always encourage is to go in and click around, and that search box is a really great place to do that. Next to the search box over here on the right is the notification bell. Anything in red is critical. Anything in green just needs your attention. The cart icon, this is part of the Unified Storefront Cart initiative that was rolled out here recently the past couple months. If you do not have that cart icon, please email support@solutionnavigator.com and they can actually get you access to that. Otherwise, you won't be able to order through Solution Navigator. Next to that is the account icon. This is where if you click on that, you can look at details within my profile. You can switch accounts if you have multiple accounts, or you can log out. And again, you may have additional options here. Below the search box is what they call the mega menu. And really, this is kind of the content of Solution Navigator, all kind of looped in this little menu area. Products categorized by topic over on the left. What you have access to is over on the right, and it's kind of a hovering situation here. So once you land on what you want to click on, you can just click on that. Resources, this is where all of your applications are. So again, kind of categorized by topic or function on the left, and then what displays on the right is what you have available. You can see that some of these applications have stars, and that just means that they're favorited. And the process is exactly the same as HVAC Navigator. You just kind of hover over what you want to favorite, move over to the star, click it, it'll turn from dark blue to this gray, and then you'll know that it has been favorited. So that's resources. And then my work, this is where your favorites are located along with DS Connect. So we'll return to that very quickly, but I just want to go through the rest of the dashboard. And so you can kind of customize, as you can see, you have options to customize your layout, customize widget. You can rearrange these as you see fit. I have favorites put up here. This is kind of a recent addition that I'm so glad that they brought back. Favorites up front and center. You can just access what you need right here from the dashboard page. You can edit those favorites. And like I said, customize layout will kind of move things around. If I scroll down a little bit, you'll see my products. And it only goes down to commercial ducted systems. If you click see all products, basically what that does is it just pops out what you couldn't see before. So moving back up here, quick order widget. This is part again of that Unified Storefront Cart initiative. This was available through Order Navigator, which you now know is no more. So quick order widget, absolutely phenomenal. You just drop this down to whatever seller, put your item in, click add to cart, click the cart. You could check out very quick, very easy process. Just a really great tool there. And then what's not displayed let's go up to the top, customize widget. And again, you may have more different options available to you, which is completely okay. Mass upload, I'm going to actually add that to my dashboard as well. Oh, quick order and mass upload. And again, this was another function through Order Navigator where you can drop down to select your seller. And this gives you kind of a spreadsheet where you can combine lots of different items from different sellers, different shipping methods, dump it all into mass upload. It will put things in the cart as appropriate, and then you can check out all in one process. A really great tool. If you would like additional information about that, I'm more than happy to help walk you through that process. And then below that, I have order history and tracking. This is a great tool, great reference tool for anybody that places orders through all kinds of different ways. So if you submit via EDI or you manually submit or you submit through Solution Navigator, order history and tracking will capture all of those orders. Well, additionally, it will also capture all the orders, whether you order parts or maybe chiller or ductless, you order equipment, it will put all of that all in one place. So one of the biggest questions we get is, do you have my order? And you have the information right here in order history and tracking. So no matter how you submit or who you submit to, for Johnson Controls, it will show here in order history and tracking. And then of course you have the option to download that order list or view all orders, which will take you into order history and tracking. And this is really great because whatever order you have selected, the box on the right corresponds with that. Very clear, very precise. You can see that this order that's completed was submitted, it was processed, and it has shipped. It gives you all of the pertinent information. So a really great tool for anybody. And at the very bottom, Solution Navigator support. This is a really great resource, even if you're maybe not trying to troubleshoot something. I know that Warranty Navigator was down one day and someone sent in an email to support at Solution Navigator. I can't access Warranty Navigator. They had it back up and running in 30 minutes. So it's a great tool, especially if you don't have access to something or permissions, and most importantly, if you don't have that cart icon. So let's go to DS Connect. So it's going to be under My Work, and then it's going to be under this Communities. So let's just go ahead and jump in. And Stevie, I'll let you take it over from here. And I will stop sharing so you can share your screen. And while he's getting situated, please feel free also to ask questions within the chat or unmute yourself.
And let me know if you can see my screen.
Yep, we can barely hear you.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
All right, cool. Let me adjust my voice. First of all, I want to say welcome, champion team. Rarely get to have these opportunities to meet with the whole team like this. So, Robin, thank you for allowing me to do this display today. So, like Robin stated, we wanted to talk about this new tool and promote this new tool called DS Connect. And as she was showing you under My Work, and if you go hover, of course, you got to do the hovering and then go over to Communities, and then we're going to go and click on DS Connect. Now, you can follow along with me if you want to, if you have it up. It just helps you because you're going to see me push buttons, and I'd rather you get the feel for it. Some of you may have already been using this tool, and that's great. We love you guys for doing that because this is a new powerful tool. Some of you probably remember the old Case Create tool that we had since 2017. And just to kind of give you a history on that, that tool is still live in this system as well. inside Solution Navigators, but it was limited. It only allowed our distributor partners to be able to contact either Source One, commercial, or residential. And that was really it. And if some of you have created those create cases, you knew that you had to submit the case and then go back and add pictures and all that. So what they done is they basically turned case create tool into basically put it on steroids, if you mind me saying, and makes it a little bit more powerful for our customers out there. So what you're looking at is all the tiles now. So I said in case create, there was only 3 teams. Now you can actually connect with all 6 teams right now in the undeducted systems that are using Salesforce currently. I believe there's more teams coming on board, so please stay tuned to that. But right now we have those 6 teams, as you can see, billing and pricing, delivery and freight, equipment, orders, Source One parts, technical support, and of course, warranty. Before I click on the tiles and show you how that worked, you notice over to the right, you have Take Me To. And like what Robin was showing earlier, this actually has a cool tool because it allows you to get to certain places in Navigator where you don't have to go through and do all this hovering. For example, if you need to go to parts lookup, this will directly take you to Smart Search, and you have no problems with getting straight to Smart Search. Training Navigator, training product, warranty Navigator, equipment lead times, DS inventory, and then we'll save this little one up here at the top for last, which is the case dashboard. So let's talk about this DS Connect tool. And for a lot of you that don't know who I am, I work on the residential distributor support team. So I am actually a contact center agent inside this Salesforce tool and using Solution Navigator as well. So I take your calls, I take your emails, I take your voice messages, and I also take your DS Connect cases and work on myself. So some of you may have talked to me. So I'm just going to pick on technical support today because that's where I'm from. So the first, think about the things that you would want to connect with these teams for. And that's one reason why we call it DS Connect. And for example, if you wanted to connect with the technical support team, you would click on that tile. And once you get into that tile, it's going to have another list of take me tos, which you've seen on the front page of DS Connect. But a little bit extra, more detail or more in materials. As you can see, if you need startup sheet for your unit, if you need parts lookup again, application engineer bulletins. Also, the tech service conference materials are here, believe it or not. So if you want to look at some of those videos from the 2002 tech conference, you will find that information right in this particular application. Technical documents on my out of production unit. So that take me to list will take you to another place in Navigator, but it's some very useful information if you should ever need to get to those areas and from this point. And let's talk about I want tos. This is where each one of these list views that you see here are subject titles. So when you create this case, it's going to have this subject title as your main subject title that comes into technical support, whether you're connecting with residential or commercial. And as you can see here, you have ask a document question, get assistance troubleshooting my equipment, report a quality issue, request a warranty voucher. Review application of my equipment includes modification request, submit a warranty claim approval request, and submit a warranty claim before equipment has been installed. Just kind of giving you a brief understanding of that one is like if we get a DOA situation, it allows you to create that case in this particular subject line title. So I'm just going to pretend that I'm the distributor and I wanted to request a warranty voucher. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this. And once you get into this case template, you will notice all the fields that are here for you to fill out. And that is serial number, and we'll come back to these 2 buttons here because I want to talk a little bit about it because there's some things that I've seen with this. But serial number and issue. That is very important to our team so we can help, go through the situation and look at this equipment the correct way by having the serial number. And if you notice that there's two red asterisks by these two fields, what that means that those fields are required to have something in it before you can even come down to the bottom and submit that case. Without that, it will reject it. It will not allow you to send that case. So please make sure that you're filling out serial number, issue, description, question. That's very important to us because we need to know every detail. I like to call it the 5 W's: what, when, where's, why's. And that's the information what we need in that description to help us understand what we need to do or to help you get this issue resolved. And the requested remedy, it doesn't have an asterisk by it, but it is neat if you are to fill it out because you may say, tell us what was going on with the situation in the description, but in the remedy, this is where I'm going to say I'm asking for a warranty voucher. And I'm just going to leave it that. And I'm going to put test here and I'm going to put test here. So I'm actually going to do a live case. A model number, if you have that, it's very good to have that information there. Ducted Systems invoice/credit memo number, that field is there for other templates for other teams. So they kind of made the template look identical for the other teams that you need to connect with. But you have that field there if you need to put that to document that information there. The next two fields, you'll see that there's my name and there's my phone number. So when you are creating this case, it's going to already know by your account that you're logged into where it's going to submit this case from, what person. So that's already there. You don't have to fill out that. Alternate contact name and email address. You don't have to fill out that information unless it's required from another team, but not for technical support. Warranty claim number, you can submit that field there, put that information in that field. And then if there's a letter, a service letter or YSSP or YS letter that you're looking to use, you can also put that information in this field as well. The next two buttons are, has the unit been registered? And it defaults to no. As you can see, it was already defaulted, but it does have an asterisk, but it defaults to no. So it's not going to say, nope, you can't submit the case because that's not filled out, but it's already defaulting to no. But if it is, please just check yes. And then has equipment been installed or started or installed, please check yes. Now, what we talked about on the case create tool, remember you had to submit the case first, and then once the case was submitted, then I can go in here and add pictures and videos to that case. And the case had already been submitted to that team, although it would upload into the case, but you had to do it on the back end. We've improved this where now you can add the pictures and videos on the front end before you even submit the case. And I do want to remind you, if you are adding multiple pictures in here, and if you try to submit, and if you don't get a case number or anything, which I'm going to show you here in a moment, what that means, if you look at this little I button here, it's going to tell you if you hover over it, what is your file size limit. And if you exceed that, which I'm working on in the second phase of this to get that fixed. So if you do exceed it, it will let you know. And that's why you have to take some pictures out. So just remember, just FYI, do not exceed that 3050 KB or the case will not allow you to submit. It'll just sit there and stand still while you just clicking away on the submit button. So please make sure you don't do that. And if you do, just take all those pictures out, add one picture, and once I submit the case, as you're going to see, you're going to get a little notification in a green box up here to say, yay, you submitted your case. Here's the case number. And you're going to also, as you can see here, you're going to also get an email. Now, there's a feature inside Salesforce that's called Email to Case Premium, and that is an awesome, awesome, awesome tool because it allows us as contact center agents to have a two-way communication with you within the case. So if you don't want to get stuck on that long call, and you don't want to be waiting or in line, to get to us, you can simply create this case. And if I, as an agent, take ownership, I can respond to you in that case. And then you can respond back and it's going to let me know that that case is reopened because you responded. So the same thing with the first email that you get with this case number. There is a reference thread number that comes, and I'm going to bring that up. So Let me bring it over here. Can you still see this, Robin?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So this is what the email will look like when you get it in your email. And you notice that all the fields that you filled out in that template are all there. And along with that, you get the case number and that your subject title that you selected when you clicked on that particular tile to say, I want to. Another tool that's really neat about this is where we talked about the email to case premium. There is an email thread that's attached to this particular email. And if you just simply, if you have to take all those pictures out and just add one to just submit the case, come back to this email and just simply reply by clicking on reply. When you click the reply button, and now you can add all those pictures and videos, and it would automatically load it into my case if I'm the case owner. So if you run into that issue with adding the pictures, and you see that, please just be on FYI on that. Now, the one thing that I should have done here and I didn't, and please forgive me, with that case here, I'm going to go back to it. I believe I was defaulted on the residential, so I'm just going to go back here and just show you this again. One of the things that I have found, just in case so you're not pulling your hair out, is that sometimes when you come into DS Connect, these two, if you're doing technical support, sometimes these words do not pull up. And if you do see that, just simply hit the refresh button in your tab. Because what happens is if it's defaulted to residential, but if these words are not here, and you submit that case, because it's going to allow you to submit it, you will get a case number, you will get an email, but that case will be routed into a no man's queue that only Stevie can see in Salesforce. So if you come in here and you don't see the residential or commercial wording, hit refresh before you start typing on that. That way you see it, and then you can go between the two queues to select where you want that case to be routed.
That's a good tip also if you maybe fill out the information, you get to the bottom and you don't see the submit button, or it could happen in a different application within Solution Navigator, just hit refresh and it may appear.
So I have submitted that case. I showed you the email that I received that you all will receive every time you submit that case with the case number and the information that you put in these fields inside this template. So I want to show you, sometimes we get some feedback from customers. Well, that's a whole lot to fill out, Steve. Why do I have to fill all that information? So what some of you may not realize is when we get the case over in Salesforce as a contact center agent, we have almost 3 times more fields to fill out in that case per case every time we take a call or a portal case. So I wanted to kind of give you a glimpse of that if you have never seen what technical support's template look like inside Salesforce. So let me bring this over to you and let me know if you can see my Salesforce.
Yes, sir.
Right. So I'm going to go to that queue, and this is that case as a contact center agent. I'm going into that queue to take that ownership of that case and work it. So what you get to see is the unedited part of this case. And you notice all the fields that you filled out are already populated there in that case. And I'm going to stop right here to explain why we love for you to email us as well. And I'll show you those emails. But doing the DS Connect case, it allows those fields to be pre-populated in our case. So we can really work these cases a lot faster. The difference from getting the email compared to doing the DS Connect case, you send an email and now each agent has to go into the body of that email and dissect it to copy or cut and take those model and serial numbers or those claim numbers and add them into the proper fields that we need to complete our case. So we love the emails. Please keep doing that as well. But I'm really going to try to promote you guys use, ladies that's on here too, to use this DS Connect tool because it helps us move a little bit faster. So just a simple ask, please. But as you can see, this is the whole case template, and I'm going to go to the edit mode so you can see everything else. So when the case came in, it already put in my contact record and my account that I'm associated through the DS Connect tool. We have priority, we have status of the case. We also have case origin. So this is showing us that this case origin, it came from the DS Connect to the residential distributor support team. We have case type and case subtype. So you may, if we're doing a complete case, we're going to have some fields filled out inside this case that we have to select. The warranty request a warranty voucher. We in technical support will change this to say warranty voucher request and what the issue. So what you would normally see is something like this. And I'm just going to add something here and then add a serial number. So I'm just going to, that's what the team inside that's working this case will change that subject line to. So it's going to still say warranty voucher request, but we're going to add what the request is in the serial number because it helps us track these cases a lot better when we're stern on what our subject lines is. Description, you have all your information that's in that you put in that description. It's going to be notated here. Your model and serial number is going to be located here. If I have to add a part number or provide a part number, that information is going to be there. We track the brand, we track the manufacturer location where the unit is being built. And I won't talk about case categorization because that's somehow our teams really code these cases to help them with reports. Some of the other things that I just want to share with you, the whole reason why I even got into Salesforce is because of this one tool here. When Scott Nelmark had it back in the UPG instance, we had to define, our products by being able to track it. How can we track how many times out of 100 calls did we have a heat pump call versus an AC call? And when I got a hold of this, Scott was like, I'm turning the keys over to you because you really being serious with this. And what we've done is define these LOVs as what we call them list of values, where I can track. So if you called in and saying it was a split air conditioner and you had an compressor that was shorted to ground, guess what? I can go all the way down. Let me go to that split. And I can track that it's an air conditioner. I can track I can track the compressor, and I can go in the windings and say it was shorted to ground failure. So all of us on the residential, commercial, and national accounts, we can track the our each call that we get or each case that we get, and actually mark it all the way down to the failure on that unit. And then our customer resolution, this is what we sent out back to you to say, hey, this is the information we need, or this will take care of your issue, or if this is in the case is a warranty voucher, I'm giving you the warranty voucher right into this case. Another thing that our dealers do is that sometimes we get dealers on the phones that we need to track whether or not we feel like they need training. So we also track that in the case too. If we feel like the dealer needs some training and we can select that level, that allows us to run a report. So say if you, like in the old days in the UPG, we used to put the dealer underneath the account, which was the branch that they bought part or equipment from. And that allowed the distributor partner to be able to see that dealer and say, man, he's calling in the tech support a whole lot. Well, I'm putting a class on for that same issue that he's calling from. So that enabled the distributor partner to be able to see those cases and get that dealer in and allow him to become a true dealer, authorized dealer of Champion brand. Well, just use that brand since we're all Champion. So that's the tool that we have when we create. This is our template, what we do when we create these cases or take these cases that come from DS Connect. Also, there's your requested remedy. So you can see what the case template look like. I don't want to stay too deep on this. I want to go back to the DS Connect, but this is what we do on every case that come into technical support. We fill out all those fields. So like I said, I've had some feedback that that's a lot, but it's nothing compared to what we have to do per case. And we take a lot of cases versus as far as case origin, whether it's email, voicemail, DS Connect, case create, phone number, we get that all into our queue. So a
So,
cool
Steve,
thing, go ahead. Go ahead.
so just a quick question or comment. Would it be for the fastest response, would it be the easiest to go ahead and put the warranty voucher into DS Connect, or do you have like kind of what expected response time would be for each with calling in versus email versus using DS Connect?
Well, thank you on that, Emily, for asking that question. Our phone calls, of course, is our priorities. And that's number one priority for us to answer the phone first. When it comes to every other case origin, DS Connect or email or voice message, our procedure is to have those cases responded to within 1 to 4 hours in that business day. And there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. And so that's for residential. I'm speaking for residential and commercial. That was what we were always told, that that's what our response should be. And number one, phone, and then work these other cases. But to answer that other part of that, Emily, using this tool is way faster than being sitting on hold for 30 minutes to an hour. And when you can submit this question and ask for this request, and when you submit it to us, it's coming into our queue. Each agent, so there's 4 guys on the residential distributor support, and we all work that queue. So every minute of the day, if we're not on the phone, we're looking in at that queue to take those cases. Unless we're just getting slam, 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 our priority, like I said, is the phone, to make sure we're answering the phones.
Stevie,
Yes, ma'am.
can you repeat the response time for cases again?
1 to 4 hours. It's a 1 to 4 hour turnaround.
Okay.
Did that help you answer? Did that answer your question, Emily?
That's great. Thank you so much.
Welcome. So it makes sense. I mean, if say for example, we put you in a different scenario, you got 5 warranty claims that you need to get approved because warranty sent you an email saying you need to talk to technical support on all 5 of these issues. You don't want to necessarily get us tied up on the phones working a warranty claim issue versus just sending it in to us so we can work it. Because then what if we're out there helping another, partner of yours and, working in the front desk or at the front counter that is really needs some troubleshoot help. So we want to make sure that we do get these cases, but we don't want to stay on the phones for 30 minutes working through 5, different warranty vouchers. It's better for you to submit them, and it's faster because now you've done your job. I've sent my case in. Now I'm just sitting back, listening, looking for a response back from the team, and that allows you to move on with everything else because everybody's busy. And so what I love about this tool is that you don't have to. I had a distributor when we first launched this tool, he had over 15 warranty claims that he needed approved, all different serial numbers. And that's a different case, a separate case for each serial number for us. And I said, look, man, I could do maybe 4 or 5 and just get, look through them, but I'm going to ask you to use this new tool to submit them. And when he did that, he was like, Steve, I didn't realize how fast this was, that I could submit all these cases like this and do it. So he was really impressed with that. But he did have a lot of warranty claims to submit over to us. And so, or just a simple email. We get sometimes where it's not a critical, issue that you need to send us a case on or call us on. You can just send that case over. And like I said, I'm trying to get away from promoting the email, even though that's still just the email and the DS Connect case come into our queue the same way. Only thing that's different is where it come from, where it was sent from, and we still have that 1 to 4 hour turnaround on emails, voice message, or DS Connect cases.
And the information that's included, correct? Because your DS Connect email has a lot more information that's already in there
Right.
versus an email.
So it's really powerful in that way because we, like I said, we're all busy, and hey, if I don't have to make a call to technical support, maybe they need help with this accessory part number, I can just submit it and get a response. And trust me, I wouldn't want to be sitting on hold for a long period of time trying to get a simple answer. So you've seen me show you how to get to DS Connect. Those other teams there's 6 boxes to connect with all those teams. You see me go into the template and create the case, and you see the fields, and then you see how it transpired over to us in Salesforce. As soon as you submit it, it's already there for us sitting in the queue. And you've seen what our Salesforce case look like when we are working that case with all the fields filled out completely. Now, when I respond to you out of that case, I usually close the case. And just because of that issue with being able to communicate with you or have that two-way communication. So a lot of our agents close the case. And don't get discouraged because we've had feedback. Why do you guys close the case if the issue is resolved? Well, if I send you some information and say, hey, can you help me out with this? So Robin, can you please provide me a startup sheet or a critical region sheet on this unit? I send you that email out of the case and have it closed. Well, when you respond back to that email, it changes my status from closed to customer responded. Each agent that's using Salesforce has their own My Open Case folder. So every time a customer respond to that case, because they responded to that email, it will reopen it. So every day when I'm looking at my open cases folder, I can go in there and say, oh, Tony responded back to what I sent him, or Robin responded. So let me go back to that case and see what they stated. And we're looking at that queue just as much as we're looking at our main queue to work every day. So that allows me to say, okay, now I know Tony or Robin responded to what I asked. Let me go back and see what they say. If they give me the answer, I can take care of the issue, get it resolved, and be done, and really close that case out. If not, then it may require me having to call Robin or Tony and say, hey, what else happened here? Or have a conversation. But guess what? You're working with that agent one-on-one, and you're working with that agent in a two-way communication in that case, and may not even need a phone call needed. So that's what I love about the email case premium tool, and why we can never ever lose that tool, because it allows us to really interface with the customer without having that phone call. So, so with that stated, the case is done. I've responded. We've closed the case. We're finally done with that, and we can move on. I wanted to show you about the new tool that's part of this Case Create, or the DS Connect. Sorry, I'm getting that twisted. Is now the case dashboard. We had a lot of feedback from the HVAC Navigator days, and even Case Create, where Stevie, I can't keep track of my cases, because every time the case owner takes ownership of the case, you lose visibility. Well, in this new dashboard under DS Connect, you will not lose visibility to any case that you submit through DS Connect, whether you do a voice message, whether you call in, or you send us an email. All those cases will now show up in which is called your dashboard, and you'll be able to see that. Now, what I advise you to do is come here and hit 50, and I want to give you a FYI. Not only can you see all your cases that you created, as you can see my case here, you can see everybody else's cases that have the same account as you. And how you know that is by clicking on what I call a little silhouette guide, and right underneath your name, this is your account that you're assigned into. And as long as me, Robin, Tony, and Randy have the same account name, I can see their cases, they can see my cases. And that helps support. So if Randy go out of town and I need to follow up on his cases to help a customer, I can go here and look at Randy's cases. Now, there is some things that we're working on in phase 2. I want to tell you, I'm working my butt off to make this a little bit better than what it is, because I don't always like my worst critic. And when I look at this, there's things missing from this. For you, I know you would want to click on this case and see the details of the case and be able to look at the case. That's missing, and that's something I've seen that when we put this in production. I said customers are not going to like it because they can't click on the case and see the details. Another thing that I plan to add is where you can filter and not see everybody else's cases, but just see your own. And so those are the 2 upgrades that I'm working on to get implemented in this dashboard. But you will never lose sight of your cases that you create again.
Yay.
That's great news, Stevie. Does that include on like any DS Connect? So if they were to send in something through warranty,
Yes,
that would be in here as well?
that's correct. So if you were in warranty, if you was in warranty on the warranty team, and you created that case on that, Emily, and then I submitted a case, and I'm in technical support, or working on at the front counter, we will see each other's cases. So like I said, as long as this account name is the same. Now, if you have 2 different accounts, there's another tool that we put in place, and I'll talk about just a little bit about that. This at Rayla, we put it in production this year at the tech conference, and it's called DS Case View, and I'll talk about that here in a moment. But yeah, this will allow you to see everybody's cases, whether they're in the warranty department, the front counter, whoever's creating them through that same account, you'll be able to see, Emily.
But also you can see who you've sent them to.
That's correct.
Like if it's warranty, tech services over there on the right, or if you called in even, it will track that.
And then you got your case number, the date it was submitted. And you can also see the status, whether it's closed or still been working in progress, or if it's still assigned. A lot of times when you see a sign, that means that an agent has not taken ownership of that case. It's still sitting in a queue to be worked. But when you see it working in progress, of course, or waiting on customer, you know that those cases where agent took ownership and they're working something to get that case finally closed or, completely closed. So if you're in dashboard and say you want to come back out and go back to DS Connect, a lot of times, we think we need to hit solutions and go back here and start all over. Do not do that. All you have to do is click on DS Connect and it will take you back to the tiles that you began when you were in here. So let me talk about the other tool that's under here that you will see, which is DS Case View. Emily, you probably remember this probably more than anybody. Maybe Randy or Tony may know this. So you remember when when we created in the old UPG instance, let's see here, make sure I'm on this. When we used to have the case create or being able to see cases back in that system, if I work at a certain branch and I'm the technical service manager for that one branch, but I also support 5 other branches as their technical support manager. And in that old system, we allowed you to be able to see all those cases coming in when we put the dealer under the distributor branch. And so they came up with this tool to do almost identical the same thing. So if I work at the Wind Supply here in Wichita, Kansas, but I'm the service manager, technical service manager in Olathe, Kansas, or in Kansas City, Kansas, and I go there every once in a while. If I want to follow up on those cases as well to see what's coming in or who's creating cases there, I can see those cases in this view that's called the DS Case View. Now you will see the enhancement that I want to do. That's why I know that it can be done, because look here, I can hover over this part number. Now it won't give me the information in the case because they didn't allow that to move into production for this tool. And then I also have a list view where I can go in here and change between the cases, and I want to add my cases, my closed cases, my open cases, so that way you can actually filter between those cases. That's the same thing that we want to do in the DS dashboard. DS Connect dashboard, which is in this DS case view. But this was built to allow me to see cases from other branches or other accounts that I support. So we're getting there. I always believed in taking care of the customer when I first started here at JCI, and that's been my passion. And I was so happy when they came up with this new improved Case Create Now DS Connect tool to really help out you as the customer, our partners, should I say. And so I hope you like it. And I'm going to turn it back over to Robin for questions.
I did have one question. What is the main difference between case view and case dashboard?
Well, so so back on that, the case view is allowing you to see multiple accounts from one view. So yeah, like I said, if I work in Wichita, but I support Olathe, Kansas, and Kansas City, Kansas, Wind Supply, I can see those accounts from this view. And then when you're in the dashboard, you can only see your cases that you create and the cases that share the same account with you. So that's the
Gotcha.
difference. Yes.
Okay.
And that is all I have on this.
Can you go back to DS Connect and just talk about the Ducted Systems email us at the bottom?
Okay, yes, I did. I don't know why I forgot about that because you had that on your list. So apologize. So
No problem.
say, for example, you don't want to do the DS Connect. You know, and we stated that we're trying to promote this more than emails. But say you want to send an email, and there's nothing wrong with it, and we're not saying no, you can't. But down when you're in the DS Connect, here is all the other teams, and including these same teams that you can send an email to, and you don't have to do nothing but simply click on it, and it will bring up that email address to give you the right email address, and you can put your subject and put your body into this as far as what you need and hit submit. When you do that, it's going to do the same thing. It's going to send you a case email, case number notification email, just like it did if you were doing it through DS Connect. And now your case is created because you submitted an email, and you're done. You can get back to doing what you're doing. Or as I say on the phones, you got other fish to fry than talking with little Stevie today. So so this is pretty neat to be able to email or create the case. But me and Robin really want to promote using DS Connect tool.
So any questions? Anything we can go over again?
I do want to add one thing else. If you are using this tool, the team likes to have feedback on it. And if you look under the emails, there is a DS Connect feedback link that will allow you to send a feedback. So if there's any other enhancements or anything like that, we're here to listen to you as well. So please give us some feedback to let us know how this program is really working for you. Because I talk to some of you, but not everybody. And sometimes I get really good results on how well it's working, and that most people love using it, but it's still we still in the promotion phase of it, and I'm tracking that because I can actually see how many cases per team that are coming in from the DS Connect, and it is increasing by the month, so that's good. So we're making some noise along with the help of Robin. I really appreciate her because she's been really helping with this tool.
Jerry had a question. Where is the selection to look up our current statement?
Look up their current statement. Can he speak so we can clarify what he's meaning by that?
Are you able to unmute Jerry?
I see him there. Hey, Jerry, can you hear us? Do you have to unmute him, Robin?
Let me. Should be able to unmute.
Robin, some of the times they run into, some of their computers don't have a mic on it. So I run into that sometimes. So that might be the issue.
Looks like he's unmuted.
Yeah, I'm here now. Hello?
Yes, sir. We can hear you.
Yeah, I see the button where you can hit the looking up credits and invoices, but I don't see one for looking up your entire statement.
Help me understand what you mean. Like
Under the billing and pricing, there's a credit and invoice lookup, but you already have to know the credit or invoice number to look it up. How about just going to a full statement so we can actually see the numbers and the amounts and everything else?
Okay, you talking about here to hit invoice lookup?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Randy. Yeah, Stevie, we're getting invoice from Win Supply.
Okay.
So you're receiving your invoices from Win Supply.
Okay.
They're out in your portal.
But it sounds like you might be interested in what's all on order.
Yeah.
No,
I'm more importantly, like credits. When you issue me credits, if I can't find them in the portal, I want to be able to find them on the website so that I know they're showing up in the portal.
That sounds like a great idea. I don't know if we have anything to that effect because you
There-
currently have to have the credit memo number, but if there was
right.
anything that was credited to your account, you would like to have a place that you'd be able to view all credits to your
Well-
account.
Well,
No.
anything in this, anything that would be on a statement so that I can make sure that we're not missing items on our portal side.
Well, and Guy made a good point. You can look it up by date. So you can place a date of when they would have been issued, like a time frame, a period of time.
Currently, what
that
I
would
see
be-
there is that when you do the invoice lookup, you already have to know the number up front.
No, you can do it by date. You can do it by date as well.
Yeah.
Invoice date range.
Yep.
I probably don't. I don't have any. But let's see.
Okay.
Did that helps, Jerry?
Yeah.
Okay.
Guy also asked, is there a better way to get quantity on DS inventory than the retrieve quantity? All I get is the circle.
I've noticed that's been happening, Jessica, lately. I'm not sure why. Usually it'll just pop up the number of what's left in inventory. And, it hasn't been. It just continues to search. So we might look into that.
Yeah, we will look into that.
Trent asked, when I click on emails at the bottom, it brings up IBM notes. Is this something we can do to get set up, or if it would show email addresses would be fine?
Okay, which one did he click on? It said IB notes.
Any of them.
Any of them? Help me understand what IB notes are. I don't know.
I think that might be Win Supply's internal email system.
Mhm.
So ours, I guess if we click on that, it takes us to our Outlook. They have a special proprietary, well, I don't know if it's proprietary, but they have a different type of email system than we do.
That may be worth looking into
Right, right.
because we want it to work like this for everybody.
And then currently it's going to represent from where, where it was routed from, which is that particular person versus that other address.
Right.
That'd be something that I'm going to write that down, Jessica. Thank you. And who was that brought that up?
Trent Doty.
Phoebe, a couple of the things that come up from time to time, and I know we can deal with them through this portal, is if a unit comes in and the distributor discovers that maybe it doesn't have any charge and it hasn't gone out, it hasn't been registered or anything. And I know there's a spot on here where you can put in that information. And also there's a spot on here where you can file a freight claim if you have damage and things like that. Can we just real quickly just go to that and then also a spot where you can report a quality problem where, if you discover from the field, a dealer calls you and says, hey, this was going on with this unit, you can report that on here too, right?
Yes, sir. So the one thing that I know, and just tell you about this, that submit a warranty claim before equipment has been installed or started, that is referring to that particular issue, Randy. When a unit is at the branch and they find it that is leaking or oil at the bottom or compressor bolts are missing and it's moved or anything like that, before it's taken to the job site, you can, create this template. And what we found out is that this template is actually still getting routed to the residential distributor support team. So we would have the first hand on it, but it actually should be routed to the equipment team to credit it because it was not installed. Because technical support, as long as I've been on the distributor support, we never get involved with that particular issue on technical support side unless the unit was installed on the dwelling. So and what I mean by that is if the dealer came and picked up that unit and he took it to his shop, from that point until that unit is taken to the job site, then we would get involved to take care of that warranty voucher. But if it's sitting at the branch and getting notice that it's damaged or anything like that, then that's where it should be going to the equipment team for that credit. But as
Stevie?
right, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Instead of submit a warranty claim, we should have, it should be probably a factory defect, because warranty and factory defect are two different departments.
That's correct. Take that. Thank you.
Very good. That'll be very useful, Stevie.
Thank you, Tony. So yeah, that's something. Yeah, we're piling up feedback and looking at things that we can do to do the second phase of enhancement to this tool.
Sure. Yeah, I know we've made tremendous progress in the last couple of months on these kind of things, and yeah, this has been a very, very good meeting.
Yes, I agree.
Any other questions or concerns?
Anything you guys like to, and ladies, sorry, I keep saying guys, just guys, but guys and ladies, would like to see with this tool? Fair enough. Say less. Say less. Okay. Well, thank you, Robin. Thank you, Champion Team, for allowing me to do this presentation. This means a lot to me to get this promoted out. And hopefully we get to do more of these and get the customers, and other distributor partners to know about this tool because it's very powerful and it saves a lot of time.
Absolutely.
That's what I really
Absolutely. And I'm just going to double off that. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day. You know where to find us. So let us know if you have any questions or concerns beyond this, and let us know if you need anything else, and have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Great,
everyone.
great job.
Yep,
Stevie,
thanks, everyone.